Whitefield was born in 1714 in England, dies in 1770 in the colonies on the eve of the Revolution.
He'll go from town to town, from place to place, and what he'll say when he gets to your town is, let me start by telling you what I've just seen God do in all these other places I've just been.
It was said that more people would have known his name in the colonies than any other name except King George III.
When George Whitefield gives his first sermon, there are complaints to the bishop that he has driven people insane. It's a very strong reaction for a sermon. Why are they saying he's driven them insane? Because they've started shaking. They've started crying. Because he is locating a spiritual reality in their heart about their own relationship with God. And people didn't preach that way in the century before that. They preached in a much more abstract way.
There's a story about Whitefield was preaching in Ipswich. And the Ipswich church is on the top of this hill. And he came out of the window, was preaching to a couple of thousand people who had gathered there. And there's this story that the devil showed up. And Whitefield does battle with the devil. And they fight all the way up the church spire, which I don't think that church had a spire when Whitefield was there. But that the devil leaped off the spire and put one of his hoofs in the ground. And all around the church, there's this exposed rock because it's near the coast. There is this 3-inch deep, what looks like a hoof print in the rock, and it gave rise to this tradition of Whitefield doing battle with the devil and leaving the hoof print there. Even if it's not true, it absolutely reflects how the people that heard Whitefield esteemed Whitefield, that his preaching was doing battle with the devil, even if he never showed up in person or left a hoof print behind. There are certain more charismatic movements in America that go to different graves to try and get like the mantle of their blessing. If you've never heard of that, good. When these revolutionary soldiers stopped by Whitefield's crypt in Newburyport, they take his clerical collar and they cut it into little pieces and they take it with them into battle. Actually, there's a number of bones of Whitefield that get taken by various people. Some of them are mailed back a decade later. That's very curious because that's a very Catholic thing to do. I mean, they are turning Whitefield into this Protestant relic. Whitefield would have hated it. Edwards absolutely would have hated it. But these soldiers did see some sort of connection between what they were doing and what Whitefield fought for from the pulpit. And it's just kind of interesting how it gets wrapped up in this very Catholic idea of veneration and relics. I don't know what to make of it, to be honest. It is a very bizarre thing to do for a Protestant. One possible reason these soldiers could have had in going to this crypt is just saying, hey, Whitefield was a powerful, godly man. We want that same power and godliness to go with us. Even if they didn't necessarily see Whitefield's mission as the exact same as their mission, they at least wanted Whitefield's power and divine favor to go with them. Now, how they were able to secure that through cutting up his clerical collar, no one will ever know.